Hi, welcome. Please meet our amazing team myself, Amisha Phillips, Vanessa Stewart, Holly Miller, and Tamara Allen. To ensure that everyone has an amazing school year, we have school wide rules that are expected to be followed every day. The first one is be respectful. Second one, be responsible. And last but not least, be ready for success. So we have our daily schedule that our students follow on a day to day basis unless there's early dismissal. So we start with our morning meeting, then we proceed to shared reading. After shared reading will be our differentiated reading instruction. After differentiated reading instruction would be writing, then recess. After recess is our math block. And then there's lunch. Lunch times are slightly different depending on the homeroom teacher. If you would like to know your class specific time, please contact your teacher. Then we have our social studies and science block. Then we have our NBI, which is a math needs base instructions. Then we have specials. Our schedules are different based off your child's homeroom teacher. If you would like that special schedule, please contact your child's homeroom teacher. And last but not least is dismissal. School begins each day at 8 o'clock a.m. Students arriving after 8 o'clock will be considered tardy. It is important that students arrive on time as instruction begin promptly and every minute counts. Absences. Please send in any doctor notes or parent notes within 3 days of an absence. A maximum of three parent notes may be accepted for excused absences. Communication wise, teachers are required to contact parents after three unexcused absences. So, we have a homework policy. Homework will be given to reinforce skills that have been taught in class. Policies varies based off of your child's teacher. Miss Allen gives her homework on Monday and is due Friday. Miss Miller gives homework Monday and is due Friday. Myself, Miss Phillips, gives homework Monday and is due Monday. Miss Stewart gives homework Monday and it is due Friday.
Here is math at a glance for fifth grade. We have 8 units. We've already taught Unit 1, which is fractions, and Unit 2, fractions as division and comparing fractions. We are in the middle of Unit 3, multiplying and dividing fractions by whole numbers. Unit 4 will cover multiplying and dividing whole numbers. Unit 5, place value and decimals. And then our second semester will have Unit 6, which is decimal and fraction operations. Unit 7, shapes and coordinate planes. And then Unit 8, which is order of operations. So you see PEMDAS, which stands for the order that the students will complete the operations in. Here is our reading at a glance for fifth grade. We teach our reading skills through nonfiction text and through novels. So, our first book that we started the year off with was Walk Two Moons. It was a novel, and during that book, we taught theme, point of view, and perspective. We then moved to nonfiction books. We read an animal cells book and plant cells book. And through those books, we taught text features, text structures, and main idea. Other books we will read this year include Bud Not Buddy, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, Mount St. Helens, as well as many others. For fifth grade writing, we have 3 main genres: opinion writing, narrative writing, and informational writing, also known as expository writing. In addition to those 3 genres, students will work on improving their grammar skills and will be introduced to cursive writing. Here are our science topics for fifth grade. We have classification, cells, genetics, constructive and destructive forces, microorganisms, electricity, magnetism, and physical and chemical changes. And something new for fifth graders that they did not have to do in fourth grade or third grade is that at the end of the year, when they take the Georgia Milestones Assessment, they will have reading, writing, and math as always, but in fifth grade, they will also have a science portion of the milestones to take. For our social studies units in fifth grade, we begin in the 1900s and we move on through the 2000s. So we start with cattle trails, immigration, Spanish American War, the Panama Canal, World War I, the Harlem Renaissance, voting rights, the Great Depression, World War II, the Holocaust, the Cold War, civil rights, and the digital age. We have several virtual field trips and even some in house field trips to go along with these units for the students this year. Grading will look different for fifth grade this year. In the past, they've received one, two, threes, or fours on assignments, and this year they're actually receiving percentages. This is for two reasons. It gives you, as the parent, a better indication of exactly how your child's doing. In the past, a three could be anywhere from a 70 to a 100%. And so now you get a more accurate picture. But it also prepares the students for the way that they're going to be graded in middle school. It's important to note that grades will reflect mastery of standards and not an average. So, what we will do is for a standard, let's say we have four grades, and for one standard, they might get a zero, and then they'll get an A, an A, an A. Well, their final grade will be an A. It's not an average of all four of those assignments, it's just a snapshot. And through that snapshot, they've proven that they have mastered that standard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Stewart, and I'm going to be talking to you about DARE. So, DARE is the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, and this is going to begin next semester. And it's when our DARE officer, which is a Paulding County officer, will come to each fifth grade classroom once a week and do DARE lessons with our students. They will all be given a booklet and they will go through lessons. These lessons are really important life lessons. They really help students, as they're transitioning to that middle school age with some of the things that might come up for them. At the end of the program, students will be required to write an essay, and that once they write that essay, that will be how they graduate from the DARE program. And the good thing is that the DARE graduation is intertwined with the fifth grade graduation, so the DARE officer will come and help give students their certificates and recognize a few students as well. So yes, that's all about DARE. Thank you. Hello, now I'm going to be talking to you all about 4-H. So 4-H is a community service program, and we have a 4-H leader, teacher that comes to every single fifth grade classroom once a month, and this started in August. Um, so every month, our class takes part in a 4-H meeting, and in these meetings, students learn leadership, citizenship, and life skills. Students also prepare and present their own projects on the topic of their choice. And within that presentation, they can make a poster or they can make a PowerPoint. They just must share 3 facts about that topic that they chose. A lot of our students have already went and done amazing jobs. Our next meeting is going to be October 7th, so we'll have our next round of presentations then. And parents are welcome to come. Actually, we would love to have more parents join our meetings because each class competes by earning points. Our classes can earn points by bringing back signed newsletters. Every time we have a 4-H meeting, new green newsletters come home. And on those newsletters, you will see updates, 4-H updates. You'll see community service opportunities and all the information regarding 4-H, because 4-H has lots of clubs that you can join outside of school as well. So always look for that green newsletter that goes home. Please sign it and return it. It earns us points. Like I said before, parents or family members coming to sit in our meetings earns us points as well, because at the end of the day, our classes are competing for most donations, most newsletters returned. We are competing to be the 4-H class of the month. Students during 4-H meetings are also encouraged to wear green or University of Georgia Go Dogs attire. That earns us points as well. You can also help by supporting the service projects like food drives and donations. Anytime that's going on, you can find it on the newsletter as well. And that's all for 4 H. The next topic we'll be discussing is the dress code. In the Paulding County School District, we strive to create a safe and distraction free learning environment for all students. And one way that we can do that is by following a clear dress code. The dress code helps ensure students are dressed appropriately and ready to focus on learning. For school, it's appropriate to wear short skirts and dresses that come to at least mid thigh, and shoulder straps should be at least 2 inches wide. Shirts and blouses should be size appropriate without distracting graphics or images. Clothing that's not allowed include items with holes that are above the mid thigh, see through fabric, bare midriffs, deep necklines, pajamas, or bedroom shoes. Thank you for helping us maintain a positive school environment by making sure your child follows these guidelines. Now we will discuss the Georgia Milestones. The Georgia Milestones, or GMAS, is our state's annual assessment in reading, writing, math, and science. It shows how well students have mastered grade level standards and helps identify strengths and growth areas as they prepare for the next grade level. The test is usually given in April. To help students get familiar with the format, Georgia offers a free practice site called Georgia Experience Online, or GEO. Students can try the tools like the highlighter, calculator, and the line reader before the real test. No login is required. Just visit georgiaexperienceonline.com and select Test Practice, and students will be able to practice from home. Please reach out to your teacher if need be for extra or further instructions. Now we will discuss the DRC Beacon. So the Beacon is a diagnostic assessment, and it tests students in math and reading, and students will take this 3 times a year: beginning of the year in the fall, middle of the year in the winter, and then end of the year in the spring. They have already done the beginning of the year diagnostic, and we will share that information with you at parent conferences. These diagnostics give teachers a snapshot of your child's current learning and shows growth over time by comparing results from each test. So when we take the fall and spring assessment, we'll be able to see how your student has shown growth. The assessment also helps predict how your child is likely to perform on the Georgia Milestones assessment, which we talked about in the previous slide. Teachers use the results to identify strengths and areas for improvement, and then we use that information to adjust instruction to meet students' needs. That's why it's very important for students to try their absolute best when we have these diagnostics so that we can meet their needs to their full potential. We also monitor growth and share progress with you all during conferences throughout the year.
Hello, fifth grade parents. I'm Mrs. Allen. For our end of the year field trip, fifth graders will have the opportunity to experience the Truist Park tour as well as the Georgia Aquarium. Hello, fifth grade parents. I'm Mrs. Allen. We will start selling fifth grade t-shirts soon, and these shirts can be worn throughout the year, especially on those 4-H days and also on our fifth grade field trip. If you're ever wondering what can students do at home to help, here are some resources that can be found using Clever. There's Epic, Progress Learning, Beanstack, Typing Club, Prodigy, as well as 99 Math. We are in a partnership, so if there's ever any questions or concerns you have, please feel free to reach out. You can access us through Dojo and or the following email addresses. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. Have a great night.